loves, welcome to my channel. My name is Camille, but you can call me Cammy, and this is Cammy Be Reading. I am so excited to finally be sitting down and filming my first verbal video. I do have a read with me up on my channel already if you would like to check that out. But before we actually get into discussing books, I thought that I should partake in the BookTube newbie tag. The first question is, what kind of books do you like to read? I mostly read romance and fantasy, but I am trying to break into the genres of mystery, thriller, and a little bit of horror. I just haven't found a book that I've loved or an author that has stuck. Actually, I lied. I have read the entire Inheritance Game trilogy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which is a YA mystery, and I absolutely love it. But besides that, every other horror book or like thriller-ish book that I've tried has either been a 2 or a 3 star. The second question is, when did you start reading? I've always loved to read and getting lost in stories since I was a little kid. My favorite book growing up was The BFG by Roald Dahl. I believe I'm pronouncing his name right, but I didn't rediscover reading as a hobby again until December of 2021. I had came across a book talk video and was amazed at how many accounts there were dedicated to solely talking about books. So I decided to make one, and that year for Christmas, I had gave my mom a list of books that I wanted. She bought a couple, and I've been a part of the community ever since. The third question is, what book or book series got you into reading? And that would be Ficarella by Tanzania Glover, which is the first book in the Faded Fairy Tale series. This book is a modern urban Cinderella retelling, and it is the first book that I've read with fat or plus size representation, whichever term that you're more comfortable using, which is something that I'm very passionate about within media in general. So this book holds a very special place in my heart. I will say that if you're interested in reading it, because look at this cover, I mean, who wouldn't? Look up trigger warnings beforehand, because when I say that this is a modern Cinderella retelling, I mean that with every fiber of my being. The mom and sibling in this book make the actual evil stepsisters and evil stepmother look like child's play. So please, 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 please do your research on the contents that are displayed within this book, because they are not kind to our main character when it comes to the way that she looks at all. But nonetheless, this is a beautiful story. The fourth question is, why did you start this channel? I started this channel first and foremost because I love long form content. I can sit and watch someone talk about books for hours, and then I can sit and talk about books for hours as well. I do have a book talk and a bookstagram under the same handle, Cammy Be Reading, but the type of content that I'm really excited to make isn't really fit for those platforms, especially because book talk thrives off of short content, and with bookstagram, if you don't have such an elaborate book collection or your page is not aesthetically pleasing, you tend to not do as well. I really wanted a space where I could take my time and really perfect the content that I am putting out. And I also want to introduce movie and television content on this channel as well. I've had my book talk for probably about 3 to 4 years now, but within those 3 to 4 years, I've only specifically talked about books. So my niche over there is pretty set in stone. And with the uncertainty of US users still having access to the platform by this time next year, I wanted to make sure that I still had a place where I can share my love of reading with the world. The fifth question is, what are some fun and unique things that you can bring to BookTube? I feel like this is such a basic answer, but diversity. I absolutely love the influence that I've seen over the last 2 years of so many more BIPOC creators entering into this space. And it absolutely makes my heart swell when I log into my YouTube home feed and see so many beautiful diverse faces and diverse recs, specifically diverse recs. If you are on Threads, X, or even Book Talk, there's this statement that surges literally every 2 to 3 months that the book community only recommends the same 3 to 5 books. And that simply is not true. If you want more diverse recs, then you have to do your part with interacting with more diverse creators. People love to use the poor excuse of, oh, I couldn't connect with the character because I couldn't see myself in their shoes, and that right there is the problem. You do not have to be a rocket scientist to learn from, respect, and connect with characters whose identities differ than yours. If the only way that you can connect with someone is because they look like you and not because you share the same passions, belief, personality, or character traits, then you need to do some serious soul searching, because honey, you're the problem. Diversity does not solely mean Black, brown, Native, Hispanic, or Asian. It also means disability representation, plus size representation, and LGBTQIA plus representation. And even then, if you aren't reading diversely because in your head the first thing that comes to mind is Black and brown, then excuse my language, but what the hell is wrong with you? But now that little spill is over, I'm also very excited to share my love of movie and television on here as well. I love breaking down the plot of my favorite films, discussing what I loved, what I didn't love, and what I hope to see in the future. And with all the book adaptations coming to screen, we're gonna have a lot to talk about. And for our last question of today, we have, what are you most excited about for this channel? And that is building a community, not only within my channel, but within the booktube and bookish space in general. I'm so horrible when it comes to reaching out to fellow readers or my mutuals because one, I physically cannot initiate a conversation. Like, it makes me ill if I have to speak first. And two, I am a grade A yapper, especially when it comes to something I'm passionate about like books or TV. I tend to talk myself out of reaching out because I'm like, oh, they don't care about what I have to say, but here's the change in all of that. But those are all the questions that I have for you today. Thank you so much for clicking on my video and spending some time with me. If you would like to let me know a little bit about yourself in the comments, that would be great. If you have a booktube as well, please link it down in the comments. I would love to support you. I will see you all in my next video, but until then, happy reading.